Yes, guys, Tom here once again from the West Ham Faithful YouTube channel. You're joining me once again for a Faithful review show. Today we are going over what that was against Southampton. I'll be giving you Moyes' comments after the game, my player ratings, and my genuine opinion on all things that happened yesterday. Right, before we start, if you like my channel, the content that you've seen of me so far, if you don't mind, click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell so it notifies you every time I upload a video. Anyway, let's crack on. It's safe to say that I'm bitterly disappointed that we didn't walk away from St Mary's with 3 points. They seemed like a team that had their backs up against it, and they were there for the taking. 60 minutes in, they were bringing on a defender to try and shield their 3 points before we scored, obviously. But yeah, anyway, let's get on with the highlights. We started off the first couple of minutes relatively well. This is one thing that's really starting to irritate me. The first couple of minutes were fine. After that, we were piss poor. It was extremely frustrating to watch. I felt like ripping the hair out, and I've got long hair, mate. Like, it's not a joke. I was getting so fucking frustrated because I've said it time and time again. We need to come out the blocks firing straight away. We can't keep on expecting to have these slow starts and go 1-0 down and manage to win the game. We can do it against Fulham, but teams with a little bit more solidarity. Let's be fair, Fulham's defence compared to Southampton's defence, that's the one place Southampton actually improved on from last season. Their defence has got better. Everywhere else is weakened. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so first couple of minutes, we come out all right. We had an opportunity with Emerson inside the box. It goes narrowly wide. It was a good shot. He was unlucky, a foot more to the right, and that was going into the bottom corner. It was unfortunate, but it's not the last time we come very close to scoring but don't score. Anyway, not long after that, Southampton, the tides turn after the first few minutes, and Southampton go on the attack. They win a throw-in down the right-hand side, our left. The throw-in gets flicked on to Che Adams, who, as a blistering run, shows great strength against Thilo Kehrer. Thilo Kehrer gets moved. He gets bodied, mate. Like, he ends up with his arse on the floor. Che Adams has a good strike on goal. Good save by Fabianski. In recent weeks, I've noticed I haven't really praised Fabianski too much, but he didn't have a bad game yesterday. He done all right. The shots that he come up against, he done well with. Other than conceding a goal, he had a good game. But yeah, he stood very, very big and made the save. Southampton, basically, it was carbon copy to what happened a few minutes beforehand. They get a throw in on the right hand side again, and this time it seems as though Kyle Walker-Peters' foot goes over the line. It looked miles over. Like, it's got to be a millimetre, or he's like a sliver of his foot is on the line. But how can you not class that as a foul throw? It's ridiculous. Now you're going to see it all the time in the Premier League. Players are going to have their feet basically over the line. They're just going to make sure they keep it just about in. And it's frustrating. It was annoying to watch, to be honest. Like, just take a throw in, man. Bloody annoying. But anyway, it was carbon copy to the opportunity they had pretty much a couple of minutes beforehand, gets flicked on. But this time, Thomas Souček gets his foot to it. But what a clearance. A clearance. Fuck me. That was terrible. And someone said, no, he was passing to Bowen. No, we weren't fucking passing to Bowen. It was terrible. Like, clear the fucking ball, mate. Don't let it ping pong about the fucking outside the area. Anyway, Jared Bowen goes to get to the ball. The referee is blatantly in his way, blocks him clearly off. Anyway, the Southampton player, Perraud, whatever his fucking name is, receives the ball, takes a touch, and has a shot. It gets deflected off of Johnson's arse and goes in the bottom corner. Such a scrappy goal. Should have been disallowed. If it's, I saw someone say, well, like, why is Bowen complaining? Why is Bowen complaining? Bowen's complaining because he got blocked off by the referee. He got blocked off. How is he's obstructed the player? Some will say Jarrod Bowen's ran into him. No, he hasn't ran into him. The referee's got in his way. Like, and he did the same thing later on in the game as well for our goal. Fucking so frustrating to watch. Didn't get ruled out. We had to deal with it. But after that point, we woke up. Scamacca kept finding himself in great positions. He did it a couple of times where he would receive the ball. He did it once on the outside of the box and once on the inside of the box where he got it, took a touch quick, bang. And both times, I think it was a couple of times in the first half, he was unlucky. A few inches to the left, that's hitting the post and in. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we found ourselves 1-0 down at half time. That was pretty much it for the end of the first half. Bear with me while I change over my notes. Right. And then after, I think just before the end of the first half, Walker Peters finds himself again on our left with a throw in. The jeers from the crowd now every time he takes a throw in because it looks like he's going over the line. It looks so bad. I was only watching it on the telly, but it was like, from what I saw, it's like, you're over the line. Like, it looked like he was doing it on purpose. But anyway, he throws it on. The ball pinballs around. Che Adams finds himself again almost in the same position as what he found himself in when he bodied Kera earlier on in the half. He takes a shot. And Fab gets down again very well. I was impressed and happy that he made that save. And last bit before half time was we broke very quickly. Scamacca puts in a lovely ball to Paqueta. Paqueta heads it, and his header just goes wide. It's the post and goes wide. He tried to catch the keeper wrong-sided. And like I said earlier, a couple more inches, and that's in. It's so frustrating. It was an extremely frustrating first half. Yeah, I didn't really want to talk to anyone at half time. Blood was boiling. It was kind of, it keeps on happening to us, all these dumb things. I mean, we had a touch against Fulham last game, but it's still, in my opinion, we only had a touch changing the scoreline from 2-1 to 3-1. Yeah, I disregard the handball for Scamacca. Nah, I'm not having none of that. Anyway, at half time, like I just said, I wasn't a happy bunny. And neither was Moyes by the end of the second half. He was not a happy bunny. But anyway, the start of the second half, it looks like we're going for it. Great ball from Jarrod Bowen comes in. Scamacca managed to get his knee on it. Like, it's great improvisation, and it wasn't far off. But yeah, like I said earlier, on about the 60th minute, nothing really happened too tough, to be honest. But around the 60th minute, Hassan Hotel prepares to take Armstrong off and bring on a defender. I'm not sure which one it was. But anyway, shortly after that, got mentioned by the commentator, Rice plays a 1-2 with Benny and takes a lovely finesse shot from just outside the edge of the area and scores straight into the bottom corner. Beautiful, a lovely curl on it. Yeah, we were all over him at this point, but like, other than a few shots here and there, nothing happened. There was no proper big chances our way. Southampton were resilient enough in defence to hold us off for the rest of the game. Yeah, and that's it for my highlights. Pretty much after Rice's goal, that was it. I think I stopped taking notes pretty much. I was a bit fucked off. Anyway, let's go over Moyes' comments after the game. Moyes says, I think the ref got in the way of Bowen. They have to see all the angles, and I hope they do. Gerald couldn't get to it because of the ref's position. He then goes on to say, I'm not happy with a point. We dominated the game. We should have won, but comfortably by a long way, but we didn't take our chances. We deserved the game. We deserved to win the game, and we have. If you have a look at the Souček penalty, it was worse than the one that we were given last week. Yeah, Moyes weren't a happy bunny either. Safe to say. Anyway, moving on to my player ratings. I'm going to start off with Fabianski. I'll give him a 7. Soufal gets a 5. He was pretty much piss poor all game. Ben Johnson was unlucky to have that shot deflected off of his arse. But he tried to get in the way of it. So give credit where it's due. He gets a 6 from me. Tilo Kehrer, although he got muscled off the ball by Che Adams in the first half, he had a relatively half-decent game. I've never seen someone make so many mistakes, but do so many things right in the same sense. He's a good player. I rate him highly. But yeah, he gets a 6 from me. Cresswell gets a 6 from me. He was getting targeted in the first half, especially by Southampton, and he held his own, to be fair. He gets a 6, did nothing special. Moving on to Emerson. Emerson didn't have the best of games, in my opinion. Yeah, he weren't great, didn't offer that much going forwards. Souček gets a 5. The debate is giving him a 4. No, fuck it. Souček gets a 4. Bloody donkey. If he had cleared that ball properly, there wouldn't have been this whole Jared Bowen and referee in the way of him and all that shit. We wouldn't have none of that. There would be no talk about it. There would have been no goal. So yeah, I indirectly place Souček at fault for that goal, to be honest. Declan Rice had a half-decent game, scored the goal, would have got a 7, but because he scored the goal, he gets an 8 from me. Moving on to Paqueta. Paqueta hit the bar in the first half, had a half-decent game, can't complain, got himself about a bit. He does cover blades of grass, don't he? He gets a 7. Bowen, it looks like he's getting back to his usual self. I'm excited to see if the break for the World Cup, and I don't know whether he's going to get taken. If he does get taken, he's going to be used sparingly, but hopefully the break being away helps him come back in better form or back to Bowen form from last year. And last but not least, Skamaka up front gets a 7. He didn't do nothing wrong. He had the right incentive going forwards. Yeah, he had a half-decent game. The only thing that he was missing was a goal. He tried to set up Paqueta for the shot that hit the bar. But yes, Skamaka gets a 7 from me. Moving on to the subs. I'm going off the top of my head because I didn't actually do the subs. I was kind of annoyed writing down my notes for the review. But Antonio, he came on, tried to put himself about a bit, didn't really do anything, gets a 6. I believe Emerson came off for Benny. Benny set up Declan Rice's goal. He gets a 7. He was the only one to stand out. Benny's got to be starting against Liverpool on Wednesday. And on that note, I don't know who the rest of the subs were. But yeah, keep your eyes out for my preview show of the Liverpool game. It's going to be tasty. It's a Wednesday night late kickoff under the lights up in Anfield. Yeah. So those of you who are going, wrap up warm. It's going to be fucking freezing. But yeah. Oh, before I go, my score prediction was really wrong. I went for a 3-1 win and we drew 1-1 disappointingly. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've liked it, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until next time, come on you irons.